Welcome back to my 22 Honda Grom. While some things are subjective, I think we can all agree that the original tail fender that comes on the Grom, both the 22 and all of the Groms, and honestly most motorcycles these days, is hideous. There's a law where the rear license plate has to come out past the rear wheel, and when in doing so, especially on small bikes, it makes for this 1.5 foot long plastic monstrosity. So anyway, I want to get rid of this today, and at the same time want to upgrade the light because I want to get rid of these very ugly side markers. So I've got two things to do that. One is the Yoshimura tail tidy for the 22 Grom, and I've also reached out to TST Industries, who has sent me their tail light that has integrated turn signals. It's got a cool smoke look, so I'll be able to get rid of these, and instead of this big red plastic reflector, a cooler smoke look that I think will mesh in with all the black that I've got on this bike. So get rid of this tail and clean up the look all around. I've never done a tail tidy on a Grom, but I imagine it's going to be pretty straightforward. There's a place to put your key on the left side to remove the seat. And then in here I see a number of bolts holding what I think is the tail. Actually, there are some places here with screws and up here as well. And the top one here is a 10mm bolt. All right, and all that showed is that these 4 bolts up at the top that I was looking at initially are the ones that need to come off for this to come out. There are electrical connections though that I will undo first. And then it's these 2 outside 10mm and then these 2 in the rear inside millimeter bolts. Inside 10mm bolts. All right, the original one is off. So this immediately looks infinitely cleaner. There was this other connector back here that was holding some of the electrical connections. I'm not exactly sure how everything will hook up, but we'll figure that out once we mount the new tail tidy onto the bike. So I guess before we put on the new tail tidy, I'm going to install the TST Industries integrated tail light. I've actually used a similar product on my 2019 Kawasaki ZX6R 636, and it's a really fantastic product. It looks super clean. I also have the smoked one. I'll link in the description above to that if you're interested in checking it out. But let me show you this product from TST. It comes with a wiring harness that we'll figure out exactly how it hooks up. Actually, I believe this black plug will hook up to the plug back here that I had mentioned, and it looks like then it has the more standard looking plugs that I saw previously on the Grom and the Monkey. And then let me make sure it's in focus. Here is the light itself. Awesome quality finish, nice smoked look, and it has these fins in it to separate these sections. So let's remove the stock light, get this installed, then we'll put in the tail tidy and close it all up. So to access the light, I see 2 screws and 2 bolts. I'm not sure which I'm supposed to undo. I'll start with the screws. I'm not exactly sure what that released. I'll go ahead and take out those 2 10mm nuts. All right, it looks like the two screws are what allows this top piece to come out. And then the two nuts were holding the light assembly itself in. All right, and actually there's a couple of clips to the plug right here where the assembly connects to. It's kind of tricky, you have to push these little tabs on each side down. All right, and the OEM light is out. All right, I've got the two lights side by side here, and you can see they're the identical shape overall. One thing to notice though is that the original version have these metal bolts, plastic welded into the original light, whereas the TST Industries have the plastic piece here and is supplied with these screws that will hold it from the other side. So instead of using the nut that was on this side, it'll be screws to hold it on this side. So this is left just with this little green plug that looks different than the two plugs that I need to find connections for. But the kit comes with this harness that I believe is going to solve that for me. So let me open this up. Okay, so this end will plug into this proprietary harness that comes on the TST light. And then these two harnesses, the black one comes over to the left side of the bike and the right one to this harness. And that should be it. So let me get that hooked up. I'll get the plastic piece back on here. Then I'll get the rest of the Yoshimura tail tidy kit on, and this should be buttoned up. And another item that I ordered from TST Industries when I placed the order for the light was this relay for the LED lighting. I'm not sure if I need it just for the tail light, but I'll definitely also be doing LED lighting for the front turn signals, so needed to install this. And I just realized in this case it's very simple. On the Monkey I had to take off the tank and it was pretty involved. In this case it looks like it's a matter of just popping this plastic piece off, unplugging the old one. I'm also going to reuse this little rubber holder, and I'll fix it to the new TST Industries flasher. Plug it back in and mount it back to the frame. All right, and now for the rest of the wiring, I'll feed this all up as nicely as I can. That pops in nicely. And that should be it. So let me get the rest of the top back together and then we'll get the tail tidy on. So the rest of the fender eliminator kit looks really straightforward. This is the plate that just bolts to the bottom here, and bolts go through, and the two nuts in the front and the two nuts in the rear secure it. It does though require a separate light, this little LED light that illuminates the license plate, and it then has these two leads that the instructions say that you can tap into the yellow and green wires back here. But one of the cool things about this TST kit is that it comes with the red and black wires already provided. They're looped down and heat shrinked so that there's no chance of connectivity if you don't need to use them. But I think most people doing an install like this will also do a tail tidy and also need a light to illuminate it. So I tested it and I'm getting 12 volt to this light, so this looks good to go. I'm going to put some connectors on these and connectors on this side just so that it's a neat little plug in case I need to pull it off in the future, and then get the rest of this buttoned up. But really cool that they did provide these leads so that you don't have to bother tapping into anything. So it goes bolt, washer, washer, nut, and you do that for all four. All right, so this looks considerably better. Again, I really like the way the smoke tail light works. Everything fit really well, and I really liked how that wiring harness not only had everything else plug and play, but for the one thing that I was going to need to have soldered, it had leads ready for me to solder, and was a very simple process. So thanks again, TST Industries, for getting this out for me. I do have a couple of other products from TST that I have that will be doing installs in soon, and look forward to trying out more of their products as they bring more to market for this 2022 Grom. Anyway, let's go ahead and try to turn it on. The LED below works just fine. It's got this great light. Brake light does flashes before holding, and let's try turn signals right. Integrated into this set of LED modules, and the left turn. Everything is good to go. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Stay tuned for more videos and keep on building.